Hello and welcome to the first ever Carbon Copy podcast, the Carbon Copy COVID Curer. Quick disclaimer, we don't have a cure for COVID-19. We're not scientists and it's not a medical podcast. It's probably not even going to be a good podcast, but we'll see how we go. So basically, if you don't know who we are, we're a wedding band from central Scotland. We're not gigging much at the moment on lockdown. So we decided to try a podcast because you can never have too many podcasts in the world. We thought it would be a bit of fun just to share what we've been doing, give you a bit of insight into wedding band life, share hopefully some funny stories, and it basically gives us something to do to waste some time. And if nothing else, it'll waste an hour or so of your time as well, if we manage an hour. So my name's Martin. I play guitar in Carbon Copy. We're doing nicknames then, are we?
Aye.
So some of us have got some really stupid nicknames. So I've got one which is Merv, M-E-R-V, just so you know who it is that we're talking to when we say these names, because we refer to each other as our nicknames. But my colleagues are here as well. So we've got our lead singer, David Swan, aka Swanee.
Hello.
We've got the bass maestro, Mr. Sausage Fingers himself, Mr. Mark J. Caulfield, also known as Spanko. Say hello, Spanko.
Hello, Spanko.
And the newest member to our band, actually, Neil's just joined us.
Not got a nickname yet?
Not got a nickname that we know of yet, but there's always time. So Neil McDougall has joined us basically a couple of months ago on drums.
Hello.
Hi Neil, and welcome. I think we've done, how many gigs is it now? 2 or 3 possibly?
3, I think, maybe.
3.
3 until rudely interrupted.
Yep.
So obviously things have been put on hold a wee bit with the way things are. So what have you been up to?
Drinking beer and making food. Basically, that's what I've been doing a lot of. Not much, Merv, as you know. We're trying to keep the stuff in the background going with some songs and some stuff with Neil. Try to do that remotely has been a new thing for us, but it's worked out all right. We've got the new 2 tunes up that we've done, so that's what I've been doing. What have you been doing, Spanko?
Similar. Drinking a few beers. Playing too many computer games, definitely. Taking the dog for a walk. Doing some home exercise. Which is ridiculous. I can just hear Laura laughing at me. She's trying to do it behind me. She's just laughing at me as I'm kind of lunging into the air, Saturday Night Fever style, like an idiot. But
Can we get some of that footage?
no, no chance. No chance is that ever happening. But hey, here, it's a positive thing, exercise. So
I think we'll put that to the public.
Great.
And we'll take a vote on that, so get some footage ready, just in case. And what about yourself, Neil? How you been coping?
Actually, I've been quite enjoying it with. I've got a wee 2-year-old, so she's having a great time. I've taught her how to set files up, how to use sharp objects. Because I've been there the whole time, I don't need to leave her on her own. I can just show her how to do all these things when she's 2.
Good life skills for a pandemic, because you don't know how far it's going to go, I suppose.
When the next epidemic's going to strike.
I hope you've taught her how to skin a deer.
Some foxes, maybe, if they keep kicking about. There's hundreds of cats, man. I can't wait to catch a cat. I get too chickens, so that's why they don't like them.
It's probably best at this point that we tell everybody that it's going to have some swearing and some adult content within this podcast, I would say, lads. Would we all agree on that?
Yeah.
I've literally never went this long without fucking swearing in my whole entire life, so that feels good to get that out there. Feels good.
I'm trying not to swear.
You don't really swear that much anyway. You're quite a polite guy for Carnoustie.
Mm-hmm.
No, you've not been integrated into the Central Belt language as yet, Spanko.
No, you're fucking right.
But don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, if you're wanting to book us for your wedding, we'll just swear off. We'll just be swearing.
No swearing during the first dance.
No.
Unless you ask us to.
Unless it's in the song.
Unless it's
Unless it's in the song. It might be in the song.
That's true. We've never had that before.
No.
Come to think about it, have we? I don't think I've ever sworn a first dance, no.
I don't think any of our songs that we ever played contain any bad language.
Of
I
rap?
could be wrong about that.
No, there definitely is some in there, I think. Aye, there's a few tunes that I've thought, oops, I shouldn't have sang that at a wedding because it's a wee bit close to the bone. And we've sang as well. I remember the most controversial first dance we ever sang, you all know. Well, we never actually sang it. They changed it on the day, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
You weren't there that night, Merv, weren't you? Know it was.
No, I had a night off.
Aye, Big Barry, Macalina, big shout out to Big Baz. But what was it? I only remember the name of the. Well, I don't even remember the name of the band now. My mind's went blank. Spanko, you'll know. Who, the Lost Prophets or something like that, innit? Aye.
The first dance was a Lost Prophets song.
That was right around the time when the lead singer was going through some heavy court cases.
Mm-hmm. And we were like, what are we? Because Merv was dealing with emails at the time with the clients, and he was like, how do we tell them? Or do they know and they don't care? And it's just a favourite song from that time.
I know. So that was a real, and we
That was
learned
a real dilemma because you
yes.
don't know, you don't want to. So that's what they've chose, you know. So you just don't know if that's if they really like that song.
For anyone that listening that doesn't know who the Lost Prophets are and what the singer did, don't Google it. Do not Google it.
Do not Google that. If you're eating your dinner, do not Google that.
It's not nice.
Horrible,
Really horrible.
bastard.
Yeah, he's a bastard.
Aye.
So any TV shows, films, things like that, activities, any recommendations that you've been getting up to through the lockdown period? Swanee, what about you?
I've been watching Michael Jordan. Is it Michael Jordan? Is that the basketball player's name?
Mm-hmm.
Aye, because there's Magic Johnson in there as well. But there's a Netflix documentary about the Chicago Bulls in the 90s. The amazing team with Rodman and I can't remember the other guy's name, Scotty something or other. But it's an amazing documentary. Check it out. It was really, really well shot, and it's got loads of footage for the 90s and driving loads of old cracking cars like Lambos and all that kind of stuff. But it's an amazing story because they'd never won anything, and then they got Johnson out of the pick, and that's where they went on to win 5-6 championships and stuff. It was an amazing documentary just to see the back end of it all, because I'm not a big basketball fan. It's really good, and I don't really watch basketball or anything like that. But it was good to see the kind of the dynamics between the chairman and the coach and the team and all that. But I'm not going to bore you. Just watch it.
It's kind of similar to that one I watched actually. Whenever you thought about it, you mentioned it there, the Maradona one. It was on Channel 4 recently.
It's amazing.
Really good. And I never really knew that Napoli at the time, they'd never won any like Scudetto, or they were really, relegation fighting team.
Oh,
when
aye.
He came in, they just went straight up. I think the year after, one or two in a row.
He was our saviour, Murph. He was an absolute saviour.
Some guy, him, but genius. So, what about you, Neil? Anything you began to? TV, books, music, any that sort of stuff?
Not really. Actually, I've actually watched very minimal TV. I've just been setting files every night, so it's like a full day work for me. I got a huge garden, so it's been cutting hedges and burning stuff. So that's kind of my entertainment, I suppose, and taking care of a 2-year-old. So that's the rest of my day.
Sounds great. So where are you getting the wood? Is it just like?
I've got like 3 big hedges, so I haven't cut them for about 15 years. So they're all trees. So I'm having to get logs coming off them.
Oh, nice.
Brilliant.
I'm a fire expert now. I'm a fire expert, honestly. Now, I thought I was good at this before, but see, after this lockdown, I could literally set a fire anywhere with a rubber band and a stone. You could land me in the middle of Sahara Desert and I'll be able to light you a fire. I'm not joking. And I've bought one of the wee fire pits just at one of these shops like B&M or something like that, only about 15, 20 quid. But it's addictive, isn't it, Neil? See, once you get a good fire and then you're in it, next night you're like, all right, I'm going to get a better one tonight. It just becomes a bit of a competition with yourself, I find.
I found that there's a like a kind of pine tree type thing that was growing in the garden, but it was kind of getting big enough to be a tree. And see, when you put that in the fire, oh man, it was about 15-20 feet in the air. I thought people were going to phone the fire brigade or something, because it was a blinding beacon of it just looked like some dragon came out of the earth and breathed fire. I was shitting myself for quite a bit, actually, because I thought I need to get a hose. In fact, no, I don't know what I need to do, but thankfully it was all right. It didn't go anywhere.
There is that primal thing with a fire, like, it is just mesmerising, and you can get totally sucked into it. Like what you're saying, I mean, that is total entertainment, just having a fire and just watching the fire.
But why is it acoustic guitars go with fires? What's that all about? Discuss.
What, to burn them, do you mean?
Aye. No, how come...
good fuel, good fuel.
How come if you're within 25 yards of a fire, there is somebody that looks like a surfer with his top off, playing a guitar, like the intro tune to Lost Boys or something like that? You always get that. That's like everywhere I go.
They do go hand in hand, acoustic and fires. I know about that. Because it's funny, you don't have those other sort of like combinations, like rain and tubas. It's always like fire and acoustic guitar.
It's snowing outside. Get that piano out. There we go.
Must be from the cowboy days, I'm imagining.
Why do you imagine that? Let's get into the mind of Spanko. Why do you imagine that?
Oh, you see them, don't you? Well, in TV and stuff, that they sit around the fire with a guitar. And the cowboys play guitar.
With movies?
Do they?
I don't know that I've ever seen, to be honest.
It's probably something from the spaghetti western culture, where historically guitars weren't actually invented when cowboys were kicking about, but because in the films,
I know the guy in
you know what I'm saying?
What do you call the time travel film? Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
I know the guy spins his acoustic guitar in that, if that's getting.
Oh, and the third one, the cowboy one. He
spins his guitar. Totally.
Yeah, it's a good tune, that, by the way.
I don't know how he does it.
I know we're going to be a very ill-informed, uneducated podcast, but I mean, guitars no invented when the cowboys were kicking about. What are we talking here? I mean, like
the modern acoustic guitar. I don't know.
Of course it was.
Well,
I mean, electric was invented in 1931. Right. Now that I've got Google in front of me. But I mean,
the acoustic. I mean, I suppose it's like the lute.
1830s. Aye, sorry.
Yeah, the mandolin and that, the banjo, and then it evolves, doesn't it?
So was it 1830s for the acoustic guitar coming on the scene then?
The modern acoustic guitar is born 1830s. I've not Googled that either.
I think Africans brought stringed instruments to America. I could be wrong about that. Maybe check Google if it's handy. But I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure I've seen a programme.
You get the lute in that back in medieval days and stuff. We were talking about before that.
But you're talking about cowboys, so they're in America. So
obviously, if you're talking white cowboys, they would have came from Europe, and over in Europe they would have had obviously the lute and stuff. So it would have evolved. I would imagine it would have evolved from that. This is just speculation, but
this is more boring than Maradona. This is more boring than Maradona. I'm bored. I'm actually bored, but I get bored.
So anyway, Spanko, have you been watching any TV shows, films, whatever?
I've been playing too many computer games, far too many, an unhealthy amount.
Just playing computer games?
Just playing Call of Duty and stuff like that.
Have you been playing Grand Theft Auto?
Nah. Couldn't play that online anymore. It's unplayable. Because anytime you get in it, it loads for about what feels like 20 minutes. Now you're kicking about, then you go and join a game with other people, like do a race or something, and honestly the loading is 10. I don't know what it's like now. That was about 2014, but it's still the same game. But it was it's unplayable. It's not enjoyable. You're just sitting for ages doing nothing.
You're too old. That's what it is, mate. You're too old for that stuff now.
You're definitely too old for that.
You started to come kind of a middle-aged thing where these things don't work for me. Why do these things not work for me? You sound like an old man.
No, that was back 6 years ago. It was too slow. I'm like, this is just unbelievable.
You were too old then.
I was too old then.
I was only a boy then. I was only a boy.
Just for listeners, because they might not know, Mark is actually the oldest member of the band. 49 years old, is it? 49?
69 years old.
69.
I didn't mean that at all as a dirty joke. I didn't actually mean that. It just came out. No, I'm 35 actually.
It's no, this isn't a Tinder ad, lads. Let's get in here. I'm 35. I'm 5'4". I've got long, mousy brown hair. I like to spend my days arranging my hallway into a podcast unit.
Yeah, which that's what we did this week. Yeah, we moved the house around. The house around?
Did you?
The house around. Yes.
You got a new boiler as well, didn't you?
So what direction is the house facing now?
South. As in the direction of this podcast.
I've rediscovered my love for Tennent's Lager, if that's of any use to anybody. I've
That's good to know.
definitely. Honestly, it's dirt cheap. This stuff, I didn't realise. This stuff comes like 30 pence a gallon. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable as well because it's dead smooth. But I never really was a juicy guy. You always used to drink them at gigs and stuff. And I never really get into it. But
I love a pint.
for this, oh my good God. Even the cans, but the cans are amazing. Cans are the best.
I've never really dabbled for a long time in the cans. I love the pints. You know what's good though with Tennent's? The bottles. You don't see them that much, but the wee bottles of Tennent's are good.
You drink much rum, Neil? You into the rum?
Oh yes, I love the rum. Yeah.
You been drinking Hunters yet?
Not as much as I probably could be. Definitely not enough that I should be. But no, it's good. But I've not got many mixers. I usually drink it straight anyway, so I don't really need mixers. But a rum and a fire, that's it.
An acoustic guitar?
No, I'm a drummer, so I don't really care.
Just use the acoustics for firewood then?
I just sit and beat away at drums and like scare the neighbours. That's how I ward off the cats.
I hope to God the Royal Prevention of Cruelty Towards Cats isn't tuning into this.
I'm pretty sure they won't be.
I don't do anything to them, I just scare them away.
They might sponsor us. You never know. They might do that kind of warp thing of sponsoring us.
Cats Protection, they're called. They used to book a table in the pub once a month.
Cats Protection?
Cats Protection, yeah. That's what they're called.
Are you joking?
But no, I'm not. Seriously. That's
it sounds like some sort of... It sounds like gangster cat group.
Aye.
Like the Sopranos, the cats.
Hey, I'm from Cat Protection.
Top Cat, is that the cat that used to be in the cartoons?
Aye, Top Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Was he a gangster? I can't even remember.
No, well, the cops were always after him.
He was definitely up to some sort of dodgy business.
Cop
for sure.
double, innit?
Trilbies and that.
Showing my age. Aye. A gangster cat.
Mm.
I got one recommendation for any of the listeners out there. Snowfall, I hear that's getting rave reviews in that Gangsters of London or something like that. I've not checked them out yet.
I've seen a lot of folk online talking about that.
I am going to check it too. But,
Black Panther I watched. I've been hearing about it for ages and finally watched it and it is really, really good. I'm not really into Marvel that much.
Oh, you watched Black Panther,
Aye, good, really good film. Check it out if you know.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's alright, yeah.
The Witcher series is pretty awesome. I've seen that yet.
I found that really confusing, man, because the timeline really goes all over the place. I thought
you've played the game as well before. I think that's.
I'd probably help.
what is all missing the most? I've been in lockdown. About everything, not just gigging and that, but anything. What do you miss the most? Mine's is really weird. I really miss, and this shows the kind of person I am, I suppose, but I miss giving folk abuse. You can't just give, like just knowing, like just like, randomly walking down the street going, "You're a fanny." No, like just like the banter, that kind of just giving folk abuse. I really miss Spanko for that. If I'm being honest.
What, face-to-face abuse?
Just old-fashioned face-to-face abuse. Aye.
Mm.
It's therapeutic that to have that in your life, I think. But I am talking about the banter, the giving people a wee bit of abuse. And we've set up a video poker thing with some of the boys that are on WhatsApp with. And that kind of has got a wee bit of that back because it's all the guys for Motherwell and stuff that are on it, Chan and all the boys. And it's good to be able to get that, I think. Especially when that's all I do, is give folk abuse.
You mean socialising in a roundabout way?
Well, I know. I don't miss socialising. I'm not a very social person, to be honest. I don't miss, let's all go to the pub together. I just miss, even if it was in like a work setting, just sitting, getting somebody abuse.
So basically,
it's a Scottish thing, isn't it? It's a Scottish thing. It's definitely a Scottish thing.
So basically, what Spanko's saying is, when you're abusing people, it's just a social bit of abuse.
I suppose so. Aye. Spanko used to get dead upset about it and that, and you're like, what's he getting upset about? That was very light.
Just a bit of social abuse.
He just didn't get it. Aye, social abuse. Aye, people, the listeners will know what I'm talking about. You know, I got a few drinks the other night, and I was actually going to post it on Facebook and say, right, somebody just come in and just give me dog's abuse. Just call me whatever you want, and we'll just.
What you want? Oh, you want abuse back?
Aye.
That's two-way street.
Aye, there's a bit of
right.
Got to be like that.
That's abuse of quality.
Aye, it does. It dilutes it. If I'm just giving all the abuse and I'm not receiving any abuse, there's no point in that. You know, it's got to be a two-way street in the abuseville. I think.
Aye,
what you've been missing? What you've been all missing?
I think I've realised that I don't really do much apart from go to gigs, play gigs, really, because my life's pretty much the same as what it was before. Yep. You know what it is? You know, and it's like the thing I actually probably miss really is gigging and that. The travel and just getting away, going somewhere, you know, just getting out of these four walls. And even I'm doing the same walk every day, pretty much, with a couple of alternatives, walking the dog, and you start to think about, you know, that Truman Show and being in like
here we go.
Being inside some sort of
this would descend into this
goldfish bowl type zone that you can't leave the perimeter of the area. It does feel like that a wee bit.
I know.
I hope you're all feeling good out there. This is the Carbon Copy COVID Cure podcast.
But, you know, having said that, like I said, I don't feel as if I'm doing much different. And to be honest, I haven't really minded a lot about it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd like to get back to normal, but I mean, it's not really been that bad, is it? For me personally, obviously it's bad for a lot of other people in a lot of ways.
Would these miss about gigging? Would these miss specifically about gigging? Oh. Sweet Caroline.
Well, actually playing gigs, good gigs, playing pub gigs, playing music for other human beings.
I think at this point you should probably mention some of our sponsors in the pub gig trade.
Well, Whistle Binkies is the big one for me.
Yeah,
I miss it. We were doing that every second Thursday, and I really do miss that because, I love playing weddings, but I really like a good pub gig, probably even more so to an extent.
Can it be a good boozer gig? Aye, can it be?
And that's the perfect pub for me because it's so sort of. They get such a, you know, wide-ranging audience, and it's pretty much always busy, so you can get some really good nights in it. So that's one, and even just, you know, city centre Edinburgh Thursday night, you know, just going to see what's happening in Edinburgh. I mean, that's what else are you going to do on a Thursday night?
I had some cracking nights through there.
Aye.
Apart from the last St Patrick's night, which was the strangest thing ever to experience. Edinburgh like that.
Yeah.
That was weird, man. That was like World War Z, wasn't it? That was weird.
That was just right at the start when things were going.
But it was just literally that week. It was that week that they had announced that pubs should shut. You know, they never kind of gave the direction.
3 days later, they were shut. Officially,
but that was weird.
When you see like the St Patrick's Day, which is usually, you know, mobbed, and you see it's like so empty, and you know things have changed a wee bit, but they'll come back.
Oh, aye, definitely. What I miss the most, and it's scunnered me because it's been such good weather, because usually you would be going up to cracking venues in the middle of Inverness, or, you know, Elgin up the good, getting in the new van and going away up there, and it's a really sunny day, and you arrive and get a wee cup of coffee and you get in, and then it's kind of you feel the vibe of the wedding, and it's a good crowd, you know, it's a good crowd, and you can feel it right at the start, it's going to be a good night, and then, you know, it's just the kind of things that I miss as well, the getting away, and, you know, for the humdrum of normal life at the weekend when everybody's off, that's when we get to do our work, you know, so I miss that bit, I would say, more than anything.
And the travel is a big thing, you know, and going to new places, definitely, as you say, Sony, the weather is sometimes the best parts. You're just sitting in a car park in a cracking venue, you know, and it's just a car park, but it's a really nice view, and it's, as you say, good vibe weather and all that, and you're just sitting thinking this is, you know, just a good way to spend your time, you know, just.
I think as well, when all of us have had jobs in the past and stuff like that have not been maybe the best jobs in the world, you know, you kind of appreciate it at that point when you're away up there and you're like, oh, your beauty.
Definitely.
This is my job. It's good. Gives it back. Corona, you bitch.
Any favourite venues? Spanko, favourite venue?
There's a couple. Favourite one, probably, it's actually Airdrie Town Hall because of the loading.
Good venue.
It's a good
The
venue.
loading is
The
brilliant.
loading's amazing. You put it on a ramp and then in a lift. It goes up to the lift. You take it straight out. And it's perfect. Dead easy. Nice big stage, tons of space. Sounds great.
Local as well.
And local as well, yeah.
What was the one we played? It was either last year or the year before, and it was a brand new venue. I can't even mind the area it was in. I think it was definitely about a drive away.
Was it the doors that opened up and you're straight in? I know what you mean for some reason.
It had like the car park down at the bottom, and it was all in the middle. It was like an old farm.
It was somewhere quite
it was
far
amazing.
north.
That was an amazing venue.
Really nice venue, aye.
It was a great day as well. It was a beautiful day. Aye.
Just
I like the
everything
ones,
was
see the kind of out in the middle of nowhere. I much prefer them to the city centre gigs and stuff like that. I don't know why. I just like the rural, out in the middle of nowhere, and it's got a bunch of people that are, I suppose it's a captive audience in it. They can't go anywhere. But I like the ones better than the city centre ones because the parking shite, sort it out.
What about you, Neil? You must have played a few nice ones.
I think I have to agree. Any venue that's actually got a great load in that saves all the time setting up and wasting time and just getting to play the gig is probably the best venues.
Right, let's go controversial then, lads. What about worst load-ins?
I don't know if we can start bad moving.
You don't want to name and shame.
Aye, you do.
No, you don't. No, you don't, man.
I'm talking about the load-ins rather than just like the venues. You're not saying the venues.
Well, there's a certain there's a certain hotel that's got a notorious with bad loading, and I think
See, for folk that don't know the lingo, should we explain what a load-in is, or is that self-employed?
Well,
I think it's
go for it.
Explain
Explain it. What is a load-in?
For anyone that doesn't know,
loading the gear in.
It means loading all the musical equipment in as the manual labour part of lifting the gear out of the van into the venue and getting set up. That's the loading, man.
The loading. So that's the talk that the wedding bands don't know. But I guarantee you, any wedding band that's played this venue will know what I'm talking about just by saying a hotel with a notorious with bad loading.
Aye, let's move on.
But you lost my shoe.
That was the place I lost your shoe. That's one of the funny stories that we were going to speak about.
Oh right, sorry. We can come back to that then.
Well, the only thing I was going to say was, what do you not miss about gigging? This is maybe controversial as well.
The load-ins. The load-ins, bangers. Load-ins, bangers, and everybody
bangers.
Well,
bangers. Songs. That means good songs.
No, it doesn't. It's a
fucking banger, mate. Banger.
It's bangers as in
bangers and mash, sausages.
People,
sausages.
Bangers. The fucking guy that will never stop dancing 2 centimetres in front of you, flailing his arms around about so that you can swallow your microphone. Bangers. But I don't miss that. I don't miss having to be up front. I don't miss having to deal with them because I'm always the first line of defence. I'm always the first one they get to, and I do not miss the people because they can be really hard to deal with. Luckily, we've been able to do it through the years, and it's usually just every now and again. But that's definitely part of this game, dealing with people that are far too drunk, innit? It's quite hard and annoying. So bangers. So load-ins, bangers. What else do I know, miss? Stringing guitars. Don't miss that.
Don't miss rain. Like rain and unpacking gear and rain at the same time.
Bad weather.
Bad weather, snow, wind, you know.
Aye. I don't really mind that much because, I mean, literally you can get the bad load-ins and stuff, but any venue, you're in it quite quickly, aren't you? And I know you're coming back out and in, but we'll get the gear in about half an hour, something like that, tops. So
one thing that can be annoying is very, like, I don't know what's the right word, but staff in venues that are very like
God, you know, clipboard stuff.
Clipboard stuff, that's exactly the one.
Kind of jobs was.
Aye, those, you know, the ones, and you just know that the people there are thinking, I hate you. You know, the staff, because you know the one that is, you walk in and the guy's shouting and bawling, lift the tables, move this, move that. And it's just like,
and it's usually a wee
atmosphere.
Bald 55-year-old crabbit man that's shouting at a wee 16-year-old laddie or lassie into it. It's usually something like that, and it's way over the top. It's what's required to be said at that time, and they must be aware that you're there as well. So I don't know why they don't kind of arraign it in a wee bit, but I don't miss that.
Part of me feels as if it's like a sort of show to say, I'm in charge here.
It
you know, it's to say, like,
partly for our benefit.
Aye, 100%.
Definitely. Yeah, they're annoying.
Suppose they come under the banger category, possible.
Well, I was just going to say, to be very PC, bangers nowadays are 90% women. Just so women don't feel that I'm being sexist by leaving them out. Genuinely, you guys are the biggest bangers out there, without a doubt. When you get a drink in, you ladies, you are the number one bangers.
I don't know, by trying to not be sexist there, you were.
I was sexist. I know. I've done that in a really stupid way, but it's true. And all the bands, anybody that plays gigs and stuff, listening to me will totally 100% agree with me. Women are wild. No, aren't they? Gigs and that, aren't they? Scary sometimes.
The wild woman of Wishaw.
And it usually is wishy, to be honest. But let's be honest. I mean, do you not agree with me? You're all been very silent here. We'll sit here and I'll be in the sun.
No, I think you're right.
Women are bangers.
I think what you're saying is just people, really. You're just saying people. You get some.
I'm definitely not. I'm definitely not. I'm saying it is 90% woman. Half the time. See, most guys, you can actually give them the guy eye. Do you know the guy eye? Do you ever do that? But do you know what I mean? See when a guy's been 3 or 4 times near my monitor, guy eye, right? See, as soon as you give him the guy eye, the guy's off. You know, he'll be like, right, mate, I've overstepped it. Doesn't matter how drunk he is, the guy eye works. See, a woman, fucking forget it, man. Guy eye incites them in because they're like, oh, I'm getting this mic. And it's always a mic they want. Why do they always want to scream down a mic? What is the big deal with screaming down a mic? What do you want to do that for? Don't get that. Sort yourselves out. Bangers.
What about people ask you a tambourine, you like that, Swanee?
Honestly, fuck me. See that, honestly. But, I mean, it's fair enough, right? I mean, a tambourine's 20 quid. Do you know what I mean? See if I had to think about this. See if you count up all the gigs that I've been at that somebody's went, geez that tambourine off you, mate, geez that. See if I'd gave that person tambourine, think how much money that would be. You know what I mean? Because it's literally every single gig somebody wants a tambourine in it, just to walk about playing the offbeat and like shake it about people's heads and stuff like that and be a banger. Again, more bangers. Stop being bangers, people.
What about you, Neil? Is there anything you don't miss about playing?
Actually, I don't miss the people that run the night or the event, and it's usually 90% women, some guys, but they blame.
Well done, Neil.
Or they're running behind time. We get there in time, wait for 45 minutes till they let us in. We get 50 minutes to set up, and they go and tell the bride and groom that it was our fault.
That drives me wild, man. I know.
That's probably the thing I hate the most.
How long these be, guys? About 15, 20? want to make that 15? You're like, here we go.
People don't know that. The other thing people don't know is that if you don't know a song, you don't know a song.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Classic.
Bangers.
That is a classic.
Bangers.
So somebody will come up, ask you for a song, and we don't know it. But it's dead easy, though.
Would you
It's dead easy. I'll tell you the words, and I'll tell you how it goes, and just play it.
See, coming up and going to somebody, do you know X tune? No. Oh, you must know it. No, I don't know it. See, if you proceed to shout, but you must know that. But you must know that one. See, if you keep doing that, then it doesn't make me know it anymore. It doesn't make me know it anymore. I actually stopped saying, I used to go like, great tune, but sorry, I don't know it and that. But that would entice them to go again. But you must know that one. But you must. And you're like, no, I don't. I know the tune, but I don't know the whatever. I changed that, and anytime they come up to me and I'd be like, I don't know the song, no, but I'll tell you, if you can give me the chord progression, what key it's in, and the lyrics, I'll be happy to sing it for you. And every single time that's worked for me. Every single time that's what for me.
Just because they'll hear rubbish, they'll just start. No, that makes sense. Aye, what?
Aye.
No, I've not got that, mate.
You will get caught out with that at some point, though. Somebody will come prepared.
I hear it is. I've just got up my iPad here, aye.
See if that ever happens, I'll be gutted because I'll need to do it.
But I think there's like two not knowns. There's like the not known, as you say, like I've never heard the tune, I don't know it, and there's the not knowns saying, you know, I've heard the song, but I don't know how to play it. And you can almost understand somebody thinking, well, how come they know the song, but they don't know how to play it? But how can there's no understanding of, like, you've never heard that song, so just because I'm saying the name of it, that'll come into your mind what the song is, how it goes, you know, and how to play it.
It's worse when they go, Merv, when they tell you the name, but it's worse when they go, the one that goes, you're like, what the fuck is that, mate? You know what I mean? I hate that stuff because it's so awkward to get by that drum barrier.
And some people get really, really upset about it. Really upset. And apart from you. Some people ask, get really upset.
I don't. I try and contain it for as long as I possibly can, but sometimes I do.
That's difficult.
What makes a perfect venue? What does make a perfect venue?
Good
no
load
sound
in.
limiter.
No
Get
sound
that
limiter.
out. Good load in. Good staff.
Nice distance away. Because sometimes it's good to go a wee bit away for a wee trip and then be able to get back for a reasonable time, because sometimes you're coming back at very often, you know, for us playing gigs far away.
I suppose we should give some bride and grooms some advice when there's venue shot them if they're thinking about having live music at their wedding. I mean, we're the inside info on that. A lot of my mates were like, I wish I'd came to you before about my venue because I didn't know they had this and they had that, and you know it wasn't really set up really for the live music side of it. To have the best band experience, what would you say to people? I mean, 99% of venues are absolutely spot on, aren't they? But if you're actually going looking for the specific stuff to have a really good live music experience at your reception, what would your top tips be, lads? What would your top tips be?
If it starts with a stage, then you're on a winner,
yes.
at least.
Yep.
Definitely, because then you know it's set up for, you know, music.
Sometimes the space thing, Spanks, can be a bit of a... Many times have you turned up to a venue or the venue have spoke to us and they say, so we've got this stage for you, and you go, you're beauty, and it's 1 metre by 1.5 metres. And we've had, and what's the old chestnut that they always say is, but I mean, it'll be fine for you because we had a 16-piece orchestra on it last week, so you'll be absolutely fine. You ever had that, Neil, with the kicks and stuff like that, where in the 3-card trick where you turn up and it's like a wee stage and it's literally enough for a solo artist?
Oh, well, being in a 3-piece, you get shoved in the worst corners, but the best is when they say, oh, there's a Christmas tree and a sweetie cat here. Is that all right to fit in? Aye, we'll do that. Aye. You've taken our plugs, you've taken our space. We'll do it. Aye, don't worry.
File under. Bagger! Spanko, why don't you tell us about losing your shoe at this point?
I think the story's already been told, but in case we edited it out, it's not really a story. Basically,
So it's a fact.
The really,
it's no fiction.
It's just a fact. It's not. I'm thinking about it. It's not really a story. Basically,
You lost.
I wasn't wearing I now wear the same shoes before the gig as during the gig because of this incident.
I don't think
a change of shoe.
There's no real story to self-explanatory. Spanko lost a shoe, but I think
I didn't know. Hang on. We put it in the terrible loading city centre of Glasgow.
Oh, you gave it away.
I can't say that. Shit.
Gave it away.
Hang on, I'll do that again. In the hotel in the middle of Glasgow that will not be named, has got a really bad loading. It's quite a good gig when you play it right enough, but
great venue.
Really bad loading. It's a great venue, but it's got really bad, notoriously bad loading. You kind of put all the gear into cages. And then before
that, like usually you go to a gig and you drive to the venue and you get there at maybe like 6 o'clock, whatever, and then you see what's happening, find out the time you finish their dinner, get the stuff in, and that's it. But with this kind of thing, so you need to go and scout it out. Maybe a week before, the first time anyway, I went to see what was, what the plan was, and there's like you need to speak to a certain guy that knows the procedures. So he then contacts you with like a full list of itinerary. You turn up on the day at some ridiculous time, like 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or something in the afternoon. You need to like park outside this door in the middle of like whatever street that is, busy street in Glasgow. Wait for a guy to come and open the door, drive in underneath this hotel, wait for somebody to say 4 passwords or whatever, and then you get these calls. It's proper MI5 stuff. It's like nothing else you'll ever see. And then you're like, the walk must be 1/4 mile there and back.
Yeah, it's got to be more than that. It's got to be.
Why you would be taking 2 pair of shoes to a gig like that in the first place?
Right. Well, exactly. I had my guys on for the run, and the run in, the run out, the load in, guys for that, and then nice shoes for playing the gig. That'll never happen again because we put it on one of the trolleys with all the gear in. My 2 shoes, and David had the trolley with my shoes on, I think. And then by the time we got to the stairs, I'm like, I've only got 1 shoe. Where's the other shoe? Oh, sorry, mate.
I've got 4 words for you, mate. Not guilty, Your Honour. Not guilty, Your Honour.
Sorry, mate. I must have lost that. That's what you said.
Did you not have to buy a pair of shoes?
I had to go buy a pair of shoes.
Instead of wearing the spare pair of shoes that he had, actually went and bought another.
I must have been wearing gutties.
So he evened up the number of shoes that he started with 2 pairs.
No, that's not even the biggest point. I mean, most people like us would have just went, right, okay, nip out to Primark, pair of £7 jobs, get on. Spanko goes out to like House of Fraser and spends 390 quid on these Himalayan heeled, leather from the cow of a, Indian farmer.
If I could afford shoes like that, I wouldn't be buying them for a start. But if I could, folk would be going, they're charging too much.
I remember you saying that you spent, it was most of your wages on your new shoes.
Oh, I think it was like 40 quid from June for a pair of shoes.
Mate, it was 70. It was 70.
Isn't 70 quid?
70.
We'll never know.
I'm sure you said 70. I'm sure you said 70.
I'll just look up the drive for the receipt.
Can't book shoes too. I can't remember what they were. They weren't £70 though.
So the moral of the story is just wear 1 pair of shoes.
1 pair of shoes
everywhere, and you can't go wrong.
You get any funny stories for weddings, Neil? You must have shed loads, mate. You've been in the game a long time, man.
There is a good one that I had, but thankfully only because we were on the right side of it, where it was in the middle of absolute nowhere. I think it was way up past Elgin, up past Inverness, up that way, and finally got to the venue. There, plenty of time. We left super early. We're standing at the bar, just kind of waiting. They were running late anyway, so we were loads of time. And then an hour went past, and we've been standing talking to this guy. He's just he was like, "Oh, I'm a musician," blah 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 blah. And then it came to about 7:30, and then he was like, "So, I take it you're the band?" I was like, "Well, aye." He's expecting there was another venue, and I was like, "No, mate. I think we're definitely the band to play here tonight." He was like, "You're joking." And he's like, "I wondered why my band hadn't showed up." And he's got a gig back in Glasgow with his band, who had he just had, honestly, my heart sank to him, but thank God we were in the right place, because I can't imagine having that.
Jeez.
Yeah, he had
So-
half an hour phone.
So his band were back down the road playing, and he'd went to the wrong venue. Is that right?
They were already running late as it was, so they weren't even thinking of keeping in touch with each other. That they weren't there yet, and it was the worst. I mean, I was busting with giggling inside. I couldn't do it to the poor guy because his face. He just gave up. He knew he had to just phone somebody else, and there's no way he was making it from doing that. But oh man, to just I don't know how he mixed it up or how he got the date wrong. I have no idea.
Spanko just messaged in saying he's in the toilet,
Very good.
so that's good to know.
Let's talk about him a wee bit then. Because let's be honest, he's going to edit all of us out of this anyway.
So that's exactly what will happen. We'll just be the Spanko show.
This is like a major talking point for the band, mind you. Let's face it, he can have a cup of coffee and it'll go in his gut straight through his stomach, and then he'll need to go to the toilet. I've never known him to like him like that.
Nah,
Wonder
definitely. He's missing a few vital organs.
He's not got any. He's not got any vital organs. It literally is just a tube.
He's missing a few components in his digestive system.
Like the whole thing. It's that quick though. You can't be that quick. I mean, when I went to London with him for the memes gig, I turned up at his door at it's 6:30 in the morning or something like that. And fair play, some people that are regular will go at that time. But you've know he's had some, you didn't eat or anything like that. And then we get to the airport, I'm bursting. But how can you be bursting? You know what I mean? You've just got out of your bed, done what you need to do, not ate anything or drank anything, and you're bursting. Jesus Christ, man.
Just what we were talking about as well, one of his other many faults is these snoring levels.
Fucking hell.
Probably come onto that at some point, but forget a night sweep, put your shoe in the room with him. Forget a night sweep.
I just heard that there as I came back.
Remember that time we stayed in a hostel that time? Because it was literally the only place that you could book.
Yep.
There was no hotels anywhere. It was with bunk beds and.
Mate, that wasn't a hostel. That was a scene out of Saw. That was. Do you want to play a game? And it was bunk beds, wasn't it? Like old army bunk beds, kind of type style.
Yeah.
And it was the middle of summer, but it felt as if it was like February.
Thurso. That was in
so far
Thurso.
north,
Big shout out to the hostel in Thurso. Sort it out.
I'm sure it was that the night we had to stay there, and we were driving back at some ridiculous time to get to some showcase in Dundee or whatever.
Aye.
Straight after it.
We literally like 4 hours sleep or something
Yeah,
like that.
we left at 7 a.m. I think.
It's no, everybody goes, it must be great being in a band and that. Don't see any of that, Derry. Don't see any of that. This is a low bunk bed below Spanko, snoring all night, and then 3 hours kit up straight down to Dundee, 2.5 hours, 3 hours drive to Dundee, play a showcase, and then another 2.5 hours down the road. Aye, don't see that, do they?
I don't.
I've just used this podcast as an excuse to just moan about everything. It's been quite therapeutic for me, thank you. I don't care if nobody listens to us. It's been good for me.
Aye, somebody will listen to this. I think.
Do you think? Who do you think will listen? Who do you think will listen to it?
My dad.
Aye, Paul Caulfield likes this podcast.
Yeah, big shout out to Big Bother.
Aye, Paul.
Well, we done a wee poll, didn't we? We had
Have we got questions?
No,
we got a question for Ian Saunders, didn't we?
No, we don't have a question for me, Saunders.
No, but we done a wee poll. We done a wee poll about a market research just to test the water and see if there was a appetite for a carbon copy podcast, and I think we get 10 votes. Did we? It was like
that,
it was nine yeses and 1 no.
That's enough.
2 no's. That show because you were dead against it as well.
Did I say?
Well,
I say no in the
Yeah.
You
Instagram.
said no. You said no at all costs.
You said that would be the last thing in the world we should be doing or something like that.
Was that extreme?
Something like that. It was something along those lines.
It must have been.
Doing a job.
I must have rage quit some sort of PS4 game
Aye.
through the controller against the ground.
When you said
podcast,
when you said you were in the toilet there, you were probably away for a wee quick game of Call of Duty.
No, I was in the toilet. And the dog's here now, so it's only a period of time before she starts greeting, and it's all over the podcast.
Well, we're going to mention this wedding with the dress.
Oh, aye. Let Spanko tell that one.
So
Take it away, Spanks.
I know we were in a obviously we're doing a wedding, and it was a town hall type place.
Can I just put in, I sincerely pray and hope with all my heart this guy doesn't listen to us.
There was a certain venue, wasn't a normal venue, it was a good venue, and the bride had a change of dress. So like some brides have their full day dress and they wear that, and then when it's time to party, you change in a wee sort of smaller number so they can dance a bit. We didn't know that was happening in this wedding.
Well, we did know that happens at weddings, but we
didn't know that was happening at this wedding because
it's no so hard to tell us though. It's no so hard to pre-tell us. By the way, I'll be changing dress just so you know. You know
so as far as we concerned,
the story the wrong way around here. Hang on,
definitely have.
I tell it the wrong way around. So we're at a venue, nice venue, and it had a dressing room. We're at a venue and it had a dressing room place, and we were all, and it was dead long. We were starting at 7 o'clock, so we had like 2 breaks, and we were in the back, but in the green room maybe for like an hour at least. And then there was a set of boxing gloves and the head thing. So we put them on Tam, and he was like doing boxing things, and Merv was taking pictures for Instagram, and we're putting pictures up. And it was
kind of like a fancy dress area. It was like backstage in a stage, as if it was like a pantomime area that had boxing gloves, different.
You always describe this as that it was literally a town hall that has like boxing clubs and stuff like that on in it. And
it's definitely it had the vibe. It had the vibe that this.
I think that's what we assumed it was.
And there was like some sort of dramatic production of Aladdin was happening that weekend.
You just flipped your diggers.
On the clothes, there was a clothing rail, and there was a solitary dress on a hanger. And I don't know, I wasn't there at that point, but I'm assuming Merv said, Tam, go stick that dress on and we'll get you a picture of it. It'd be funny. We just thought it was a dress that was just
so you know that wasn't unusual though for Tam.
No,
Tam's like, I'll be a laugh. I'll put it on. He put it on and it fit quite well. And he was taking pictures of it and we stuck up an Instagram story. So the end of the break comes on. Tam's obviously taking the dress off, and we're just back playing the gig again. And then out walks the bride from the back room wearing the dress.
That
was a change
panic. Sheer panic ensued as Merv managed to play the guitar and grab his phone at the same time and delete the story off Instagram. So there you go.
And Tam's our old drummer.
Big shout out to Mr. Housen.
All right, Housey.
Housey?
Aye, Housey. Old Housey. And Saunders is an old drummer as well. Neil's a new drummer.
Yeah.
Spit we can't ask Saunders question. Big shout out to Saunders for that question, mate. Yep. I'll just answer for you without saying a question. Yes and yes.
Say Steve's question just because you're probably
Stephen. Oh, aye, Stevie. Aye, Stevie had a question, but it was his mad.
Aye, it was
Stevie Rogers of Dirty Work. Big shout out to the boys. Good band.
Stevie helps us out a lot, covering for our singer at times when he's on holiday and stuff. So we know Stevie quite well. He's helped us out loads of times, but he's got this really interesting question. And it is Sweet Home Alabama in the key of G major or D Mixolydian. Is that how you say that?
Mixolydian, I think. Yes.
Is that right?
It's a diminished.
Neil, how do you say that?
Mixolydian.
Sorry. Sean Liggins.
Neil, can you explain to me, never mind the fucking listeners, what that is?
It's just it's a mode, like a musical scale mode. There's 8 of them.
Really?
Basically, if you go from C to C, and if you start, there's 7 or 8 different intervals you move up, and they all correspond to a different. Like the most common one is probably the C in a key of C major and A minor. Minor, I think, is that the A? I may be completely wrong.
I know what you mean, but
So what
okay,
is the answer to the question?
What's the answer to the
It's
question?
got to be D in it. It's in D.
Well, I know
No,
the first chord is D, so that I would say
That's what I
that
would say.
it's
Aye.
D, but I would get a feeling that that's probably a sort of trick question. It's probably like QI. When
It
they
It will
say
be if it's
that,
came from
and then
Stevie. Aye.
you say it and you get the big noise as if you're a fucking idiot saying
Aye.
that. I feel
I'm
as
gonna
if
go
that
right. I'm
wrong.
gonna go with that logic and say it's in G then, and I am just about to Google it and find out. Talk amongst yourselves.
Spanks, do you know Neil, you must know. Sweet Home Alabama. What key it's in? G major or D mixolydian?
G major. G major.
Is
There
it?
you go, Stephen.
Because it's got a C major in it, I would imagine it'd be G, even though it starts on a D.
It's G major. Well done, Stephen. Thanks for your question.
Great
Yep.
question.
It was a great question.
Glad I've cleared that up.
I got a couple of questions in for my personal Facebook. If if they're allowed, they're all to Spanko, mind you. They're all directed at Spanko, but I will maybe leave them for next week. We'll
What
keep-
do you want to answer me, and I'll give a yes or no answer?
What's that?
Have you got questions for me?
No, don't be silly, mate. Nobody
Alright.
cares about you.
Oh, fuck's sake. That's confirmed my suspicions.
See, that's the abuse I missed. I've just missed that. Missed giving people abuse.
Tell you who's no missed it.
You.
Aye.
Everybody abuse. It's just part of Scottish life, isn't it? A bit of abuse. And see, when they tell us to socially distance that, that's the first thing that goes, the abuse. But before we talk about Buffy's, Merv, I've got something I need to tell you. I made, just while we were waiting on you, having your tea, and Neil was coming in, I had, right, this is an amazing invention. It's boring, but it's an amazing invention. Chicken breasts, salt and pepper chicken breasts, cooked just normally, and then slice them up, put them on a buttered roll, some iceberg lettuce chopped up, and put on top of that. But the key to it is you get these round, circular, like smoked cheese slices. Let's get the kind of a binding in the middle. One of them, a bit of garlic mayo. It was the best sandwich I've ever had in my life, and I'll quite like that out of podcasts when they tell me stuff to make. So
Right.
make that.
Mhm.
Make that.
Sounds good.
Make that.
Just when you're talking about cheese slices there, it's worth mentioning the cheese slices with the pepper in them. Don't know if you've seen them.
Aye, that's what I thought you meant, Swanee. The ones
No,
for
no.
Aldi.
You're thinking of like pepper chicken you get out of Subway and stuff like that.
No,
just
the
the
cheese
cheese
slices,
slice.
the blue
The
cheese slices you
The
get from
cheese
burgers.
comes with the wee.
No, aye,
bits
that's
of-
just no. Smoke.
pepper.
If you've never tried smoked cheese, like root smoked cheese, it comes in like a wee sausage. You never tried smoked
Aye.
cheese? Aye.
Aye,
Well,
I know
it's, like,
that.
it's like a big. It's like imagine that being a big sausage, right? And they'd cut it. You know what I mean? It was just like one slice would be the size of a roll, if you know what I mean.
Mhm.
It was honestly, see, with the garlic mayo, smoked cheese, chicken, iceberg lettuce, the best. Go do it.
So have everybody been eating healthy then through the?
Fuck no.
Laura's been cooking constantly. Like, she's been cooking loads and loads of stuff. It's been great. It's been really good. I made 2 cakes on Friday.
You made 2 cakes, did you?
Well, I say I made them. I did make them, but it's, you know, the pre-packet. You just chuck in the eggs or whatever.
That's not making a cake.
You bought
It's
a
making a
cake.
cake.
No,
You bought a
it's
cake,
not.
threw a couple of eggs at it, and then claimed to have made a cake.
What is it,
Mate.
Betty Crocker's thing?
Mate, they gave them to like primary twos
Right.
and stuff like that.
That
and
is a
go make some
gateway.
cupcakes.
That is a
gateway drug.
That is
A
a
gateway
gateway
drug.
to real bacon. Because now I've tried it, I'm like, that's like putting your when you're going when you're learning how to ride a bike.
Spanko Hollywood. Spanko
You know when you're
Hollywood.
trying to ride a bike and you put the bloody things on the side of the bike.
Stabilisers.
Stabilizers, aye. But basically, that's the gateway. That's my stabilizers on to go and make a real cake. So I'm like, okay, let's go. And next time, Let's bake a cake. Maybe that could be a feature of the podcast if this is
The carbon copy bake-off.
Aye, we could do that. Mary Ann made a red velvet cake the other day and it tasted the curry.
Sounds good. Taste the curry?
Well, I think it was more down to the fact that she'd made a curry and probably used the same knife to cut my cake with.
Oh, right.
You know what I mean? Oh, it was wrong. So big shout out to Mary Ann for that one.
I know.
Like a red velvet cake as well.
It was actually alright. Once I cut it with a clean knife, it was nice.
Are you a bit of a chef, Neil, or you been cooking much? Or?
The wife is really. She's the cook. I know that's misogynistic, is it? She's just much better at it than I am. I think our first meeting, the first kind of like dinner we had together, I thought I would try to be romantic and cooking that, and she actually got up 5 minutes into eating and had to wash the steak, the amount of salt, and then
wash the cooked steak.
It was well cooked though. She said it was just encrusted with salt because I thought I had to do that seasoning thing and I was beating and all that. But she had to wash it, and then she finished eating it. She loved it after that. But so she's cooked from then on.
It's never a good sign when somebody needs to wash the food that you've cooked them.
See, there's nutters out there, specifically I think in America. That have you seen this? It actually makes me really angry when I see it. Fucking folk washing raw chicken. And I've watched debates and threads in Facebook. We've always washed the chicken. We've always washed the chicken before we cooked it. That is so dangerous doing that. It's so, because what you're doing is you're taking a raw chicken and putting under the tap, and the tap water hits it, and then it's just throwing bacteria from the fucking raw uncooked chicken all over your sink. Don't do it.
They're probably injecting domestics into it.
Aye.
I actually just fling my chicken in the washing machine. That keeps it a wee bit safer.
Aye.
Does that cook it as well?
Nah, well, unless you
tumble dryer for
put it in the high heat.
40 degrees, 30 minutes, then tumble dry for an hour. And then fling it on a roll with some smoked cheese.
I've actually not eaten meat since the 23rd of March.
That's impressive.
Apart from one thing. I'm not a vegetarian or anything like that, but...
So why are you doing it?
Well, my girlfriend Caroline is, and she's cooking.
But
I don't mind it though. I don't mind it.
I don't mind it at all either.
I don't miss chicken. I don't miss chicken drumsticks. I don't miss steak.
Merv, you're a lying.
I don't miss lamb chops. I don't miss kebabs.
Salivating there. You are a liar. I've seen you at a buffet full of meat, mate. You turn into Hannibal Lecter. You need to put one of the roller machine things and tie it, so you don't eat all the meat at the buffet. I could never do that. Never do that. My cousin's a vegan. I could never do it. Big steak. Oh, yes. And what's your favourite buffet, lads? What's your favourite buffet at a wedding? Is it rolls and sausage, is it?
Cheese board.
Cheese board?
Yes.
Cheese board, aye.
Mm-hmm. One thing is, I don't know how you feel about this. I'm a bit old-fashioned with this, but you know how you get the cheesecakes these days? I don't mean cheesecake as in like sweet cheesecake. I mean the wedding cake is made of cheese.
Aye.
That can get
What's
to
your
fuck.
thoughts?
That can get to fuck, man. You know why? Simple logistics, right? If you're standing with a cup and a saucer in your left hand full of roasting hot coffee, the last thing that I need to be doing is picking up a bread knife and try to chop up a baby bell on a board. That is just, it's wrong. But I love the cheese boards, by the way.
Of a cheese board,
but
not the expense. It should always be both cake and cheese board. Never like sacrificing cake for
one
cheese.
for the other. Sacrificing sweet for savoury.
Because sometimes you just have the cake, don't you? Don't bother the savoury.
That's true as well.
A pizza buffet.
Nah,
pizza buffet's good.
Outside
shite, man.
If it's like a
shite, mate. Boring as
the stone, like the ovens, when you go outside and they've got the pizza oven thing. That's really weird. There's not many people who don't like pizza.
So boring, but man. So here's some bread with some tomatoes and some meat. It's like, I want to go back to the 80s where they had the pineapple halved with the tinfoil and the hedgehog with the cheeses and the pickles and that. And the wee
blankets.
Aye, and the wee quarter sandwiches and your wee bits of pakora and vol au vents, whatever happened to them.
The wee cocktail stick with the cheese and the pickled onion.
Exactly, Merv. The hedgehog cheese.
Why does this stuff go out of fashion? Who decides
Who-
that
who-
fuck,
oh.
see, Volavongs, they're delicious, but they can get to fuck now. It's
Amazing,
2020.
I love them.
Who decided that in
Don't know about
2000 that the
Don't know.
Volavongs are no longer a thing?
What's your favourite Volavon filling?
I like the prawn one, man.
What is a Volavon again?
The wee tiny wee circular pastry with like tuna or chicken or prawn in the middle of them.
So it's like a wee pastry.
Aye, so you don't know what a Volavon is?
I'd know when I see it, but I don't know the name, nah.
It's
I don't-
just like it's like almost like a wee bit of it's not sweet pastry, but pastry, and it's got like the filling in it of meat or like cheese.
Is
or
it like
something
a wee tiny cake? A wee cake
no,
base
it's
and a
not
wee bit.
cake, no, it's
no
not
one of
cake,
them?
definitely no cake, no.
No, but what's like
probably
a cake? What's like a tart? A wee tiny tart.
No,
Like
no.
a filling, a wee pastry
I don't think
case.
so, no. It's kind of in the sandwich section, I think.
Sandwich area?
Aye, it would sit in the
I
sandwich section.
don't always delve into the sandwich section.
The sandwiches are the best, I think.
When
That's
you get
one of
a-
my favourites.
If you get a good sandwich, it can be good, but let's be honest, sometimes if a sandwich is left for a wee bit of time, the crust area can become a wee bit sort of.
Well, there's no danger with that with us, because we're literally, okay, ladies and gentlemen, here's your first break, that's your buffet being served, we'll race you.
Well, that's the benefit of being usually the people that call the buffet. You know when it's coming and you can be in.
That's
position.
that's what the only reason I bought a radio mic, so that I can say it when I'm over at the buffet. That's your buffet, ladies and gentlemen. Half eaten of olive on.
I quite like. There's Lily started.
Hi, Lily.
Shh.
Talk more
I
sense.
quite like a cheese and spring onion wrap.
A
I
good
like
wrap can be
that.
good.
I must admit, I like my variety in my buffets. Definitely, the steak pies and stuff like that. The wee steak pies, geez, loads of them.
A good steak pie is good. Even a good mince pie is good. But sure, on you go, Neil.
Sorry, have you had the wee haggis balls yet?
Oh,
Bonbons?
The viewer, aye.
Haggis balls are kind of like wee deep fried haggis balls. Or wee dip.
They're called like haggis bonbons or something like that, aren't they?
Aye, haggis bonbons. That's what you're after. Just when you're talking about places that do haggis bonbons, it reminded me, I was thinking earlier, a cardinal sin at buffets for venues, and probably something when couples are picking venues, they should probably consider this for the benefit of the band. But see the ones where it's when it's table service and there's no like set buffet, and you're just standing there with the band, you don't have a table anywhere near you.
Remember that
You're
time Spikes
starving.
nearly fainted? Remember that
I
time?
was bloody starving up there, man.
And I can remember you saying when we were going to that wedding, I've not had my dinner tonight, and I was like, I can remember thinking to myself, that is a bad move because this is a table service buffet up here, and I knew that. And then see watching you walk about begging people, begging guests, are you excuse me, sir, excuse me, sir,
Can I have some more?
Oliver Twist.
you finished with that haggis bonbon? May I
Please, sir, can I have a haggis bonbon? By the way, the haggis bonbons from that particular venue are class.
They're cracking, aye.
Amazing.
Really good.
Really good.
What is it? It's like a mustard kind of dip in it. A mustard dip in it.
You got
Is
a
it?
dip?
Is that right? Aye, there's like a mustard dip.
No,
They do like
just grabbed it off the old guy's plate that was kind enough to,
grabbed out his mouth.
he's kind enough to give me his haggis bonbons. Thanks very much, mate. I'm
The,
starving.
the poor old guy who just fell asleep with his haggis bonbon in his mouth, and you ripped his wallies right out of his mouth with a haggis bonbon in it because you were that hungry. That's the most hungriest I've ever seen anybody in my life.
I was starving, man.
McDonald's was actually the last meat that I ate, believe it or not.
Was that
Uh,
just before it shut?
Aye, must have been just before. I think that's the reason I went in. It was a Big Mac meal.
A Last Supper.
The Weird and Wondrous Facts with Captain Cobb.
Here, did you know that roller coasters were invented to distract Americans from sin?
What?
But when they're on the roller coaster, or just in general?
Genuinely, that's why roller coasters were invented, to distract Americans from sin in the 1880s. Businessmen brought it together because they felt as if they were being too sinful in America, and roller coasters were invented to distract them, basically. That's mental, isn't it?
What?
Aye. Fact.
I'm not really a big roller coaster fan, to be honest.
I hate them.
So
Hate them,
it's
man.
the 1890s or the 18 what?
1880s.
1880s in America, and you're kicking about eating bullet
Cowboys
bites
and
and chicken
cars.
and that, and aye, there's maybe one or two guitars around the fireplace, and then,
Jesus Christ.
Acoustic guitars.
and then you're going to one of these guys with all
Aye.
the tonics. So you're getting a bottle of tonic, and then you're
What are the
jumping on a
guys
roller
called
coaster.
again? Well, actually, it says the
No
worst
much has changed,
specific-
No much has changed.
Nah, not really.
Getting a
They've
bottle of
actually
tonic, and then
The reason why they're doing it is because they were visiting too many hedonistic places like brothels and salons, or saloons.
all right,
Um,
you got Google in front of you there.
I am watching it. Now. Aye, it's quite good, isn't it? Have you not got Google in front of you? It's quite a good invention. I'll recommend that to the listeners. Google. Go to this thing, right? It's
What's it called? I'll just
www.google.com.
wait till I get my pen out. Just write
Oh,
that
it's
down.
quite good. It's quite good. Newfangled inventions. But that's amazing. Isn't it? I like facts like that.
I've got a fact for you.
Go
Right.
for it.
Right.
People lived in caves for 5,000 years. Like 5,000 years of humanity was just in caves. They never get past that point.
Wow.
So
What-
generations sitting in a cave because they've found paintings on walls that have got a difference of 5,000 years.
So
People
what,
just painting stuff on the wall, catching stuff, eating it, painting stuff, generations, and then we think what's happened since, past 500 years, past
So-
10 years, 20 years.
what was the stage after cave stage?
What houses? Huts?
Was it straight into a house?
a mud
straight into a
hut?
house?
Surely a mud hut.
Straight out of a cave into a mud hut? That's some jump.
Aye, it must be like it's probably gradual. Probably people were building wee shelters and that, and then telling the cave people, I've got a wee shelter.
Well, maybe
No,
tents.
I'm going to get a shelter.
as well.
That movie
Okay.
where someone stayed in a cave for long enough, like doesn't matter what colour of skin they had, they'd all come out white. If everyone was in for 5,000 years, then everyone would be. I don't know if
Oh, right. The races would evolve, right? It was just not just one guy come out.
you wouldn't need melanin and stuff from the sun.
Right.
That makes sense.
It'll be like white albinos, 5,000 years. Well, I don't know.
Because no sun.
That's mental.
It's only a guess, so I don't know for sure.
I'm taking that as fact, Neil. I'm running with that.
Sometimes certain facts you think it's an interesting fact, you maybe just run with it rather than going into it and finding out the reality.
Here's one for you. Supermarket apples can be a year old.
What?
Oh shit.
I swear to God.
Shit.
No, listen.
From what point? From what point? Seed or from picking or from seeding?
I shall read it out if you would let me. Right.
Fucking hurry up.
Those fresh apples aren't all that fresh. They're usually picked between August and November, covered in wax, hot air dried, and sent into cold storage. After 6 to 12 months, they finally land in your grocery store shelves.
Right,
Get
so
it fucking
what happens when you buy it and then sit it in a fruit bowl? And it only lasts about 2 minutes.
You're no fucking taking him covered in wax, putting it in a hot air dried cold storage unit, but you're sitting in a fruit bowl. They pick them between August and November. They cover them in wax. They put them in a hot air dried cold storage unit. They leave them for 6 to 12 months. I would imagine that preserves them. And then once they're ready to bring them out, then we get them.
Is that even? Hey, shush! So this dog, man. See, is that even shush? Is that even organic? Oh, this isn't going to work. What is that even organic apples?
It's any apples, I think. It just tells me apples, mate. I don't know. Do you only eat organic? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
No, I'm not one of they guys. I'm not one of they guys. No.
Yeah.
You spend 70 quid on a pair of shoes for House of Fraser.
I don't know. It takes 2 pair of shoes and 4 organic apples to have a gig.
What did people used to say before they said cheese when a photo was taken?
Photo.
I know this. Oh, what is it?
Hold on, Neil. What were you saying, Neil?
They didn't smile.
They didn't smile.
I thought like they didn't actually smile.
I think they no, that's not what this one says. But they used to say prunes.
Prunes.
Aye, in the 1840s, a big dare we say cheesy grin was seen as childish. Oh, you're right, Neil. Aye. So a big cheesy grin was seen as being immature. So one famous London photographer told people to say prunes and keep their mouths taut. That looked. Everybody's doing that now again.
I remember I heard
The duck lips.
Aye.
Funny that.
Instead.
I remember I heard somewhere that when they first invented the phone, they never knew how to say hello when they picked it up. They never, nobody thought of that for years, to say hello when you pick the phone up. So
The way I'm in here, so one phone, two, and we just sat there like that.
People say, well, I remember my granda used to say stuff like, you know, the address or whatever, or the phone number. So we say like 0168847
I remember that.
I say the number.
I remember that, carry on, yeah.
01555 770 how can I help you?
It's so weird now, man.
That's mental. So how did they get around that? Because they must have thought this phone doesn't work. Do you know what I mean? Because everybody's just sitting in silence for ages.
People are just in phone lines everywhere.
Hello, Glasgow, come in, this is London. London, Glasgow.
I know.
Or they must have said the towns or something.
Come in, Japan,
They must have said something.
Probably. Well, I mean, did you say hello to people when you met them in face to face back then? So if you did, why did you not just say it when you answered the phone?
It's probably one of these.
It's kind of a like
unfactual facts.
Well, remember that fact that I told you about that I heard in another podcast?
About the apples?
No, not the apple. That's true. But when like the Crusades back in the day, in the Crusades, when the kind of a Knights Templar or whatever were going to like countries that are not developed at all, the locals had never seen a horse before. The locals had never seen a human ride a horse before, and I don't mean it like that, but they thought it was one animal. They thought the human and the horse was one thing. It was like a new thing, all merged into one, because they'd never seen it before. That's mental.
Right.
You don't think so?
Yeah, yeah. Is that from Blind Boy podcast? Does he know talk about
I think I was Blind Boy. I'm sure it was. It was either Blind Boy or Colin Geddes. It was one of the two. I heard that one, but when I heard that, I was like, you can see how that happens. Do you know what I mean? Because if you've never seen some before or heard some before, you know, and then this thing turns up, you must assume all sorts of mints in your own tiny wee pea brain, especially back then.
Oh, I know.
That's made you think, can't it?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Do you know lobsters taste with their feet?
I've never heard that. No, never.
It's true, man.
What?
Lobsters
taste what? What does a fucking lobster
fucking
actually
food?
Eat? What food?
Whatever.
I've never seen a lobster scran anything.
Is it not the case though that lobsters are a different colour until they're cooked?
That's right.
Is it not the case they cook them when they're alive as well?
That's right.
It's terrible.
No.
It's meant to be the most humane way.
Is it?
It is. Aye.
Just boil them.
Yeah, just boil them straight away. They can be white as well, I think, when they're boiled lobster, and like a kind of an orange colour sometimes. But tiny bristles in their feet. That's how they taste, lads. That's how they taste, and they also have 3 stomachs.
Lobsters.
Yep.
Aye.
Yep. That's true. So take that away. Bet you've lost sleep tonight. No, that.
Did not know they tasted with their feet, and I do not. I need to go and Google what does a lobster eat.
Well, before you do that, have a guess at what Americans used before toilet paper was invented.
Acoustic guitars.
Cowboys. What do you think?
The French thing that they have with the water.
A baguette.
By the way, first thing in Google is
what do you call it?
What?
Plankton.
I'd eat like plankton and wee kind of fish and stuff like that. Aye. Neil, do you want to hazard a guess at what Americans used before toilet paper was invented?
Left hand.
What about you, Spanks? What do you think?
What did they use before?
Toilet
probably
paper?
Something like
Probably guns.
Like a hide, some skin.
Guns? That would be really...
Probably guns.
That would be really dangerous.
No, it's probably
Guns are
like a
dangerous.
hide or something like that, like a skin of an animal skin, and then reuse it.
Corn on the cob.
That's
true, man.
Is that with?
Corn on the cob.
Is that with the leaves on the sides, or just?
Surely it's just the leaves.
I swear to God, it says before toilet paper was invented, Americans used to use corn cobs. Alternatively, they'd use periodicals like Farmer Alchemac. What? Alamak? I don't know what that is.
Oh.
Which was designed with a hole so you so you could hang it in outhouses. Necessity is the mother of invention, after all. So it must have been the leaves. Either that, well, I can see in my mind's eye how that would work, if I'm being honest. Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to think about it.
Sort of like a really hard sponge if you take off the corn.
Was it cooked?
Aye.
Was it
That
cooked?
It's cooked.
I don't
Or was
know.
it probably be better?
Fuck it, you better with a gun then, taking that out of boiling water and shoving it right where you
No,
need it to.
you let it cool down. Fuck's sake! I mean, was it
So
cooked?
what were you cooking it for then?
Is it raw? Well, it's softer.
Got the husk thing.
Aye, that's what I'm thinking, Neil.
We
The husk
better-
is maybe like a sponge kinda.
Was it, what,
thing.
now, my next
Is it
question
no?
is it
Is it no
reusable?
ironic? Is it no ironic though that is corn pieces of corn meant to be the one thing that the digestive system won't digest?
That is very ironic, and that's what they must have been thinking. Oh,
Unless you're Spanko and that's any food stuff.
So what is it? Do they reuse them, or is this just getting a bit disgusting?
well, do you reuse toilet paper?
No, they recycle it.
No, they
But I don't know
recycle
if that means they recycle toilet paper or if you just recycle paper and make it
Aye,
toilet paper. I
aye,
probably
aye.
guess they recycle the other
Aye,
paper.
it's no good. I wouldn't imagine you'd be able to use that again. No, I would imagine that gets flung in the bin after you've used that.
There must
Well,
have
there's
been
a
an
big
abundance.
shortage of it. There's a big shortage recently.
Did you know that Queen Elizabeth II has a stand-in to make sure the sun won't get in her eyes?
Who's Queen Elizabeth II? Is that the Queen now? Is
Aye.
that Queen? Does
Aye.
she get a stand in?
Is he? Aye. So Ella Slack has a similar height and stature to the Queen. So before big events, she'll do a rehearsal to avoid any royal pains. Like
Where are you
sun
getting
in her
these?
eyes.
Where are you getting these?
This is true.
These facts.
This is genuinely true. So this wee woman that looks like her and is the same size as her is sent out to make sure the Queen wouldn't get any sun in her eyes at any points where she would stand, and she makes sure that she wouldn't get like sunburnt or whatever.
So it's like a dep.
Aye, kind of like a dep, aye. Apart from the Queen goes out and does a gig. Do you know what I mean? But she doesn't get any
Bangers.
sun in her eyes. Aye, bangers, aye. Plenty of bangers. But that's interesting stuff, innit? All that. I quite
Aye.
like that kind of stuff.
This is a good section. I like this, man. This is interesting.
Aye. Is there any wedding related facts? Like just where was the first wedding? Or whatever, I don't know.
Aye.
Where was the first ever wedding? Spanko, you look that up. I'm stuck into this.
It must have been
but
at
in-
Shield
for-
Hill Castle.
For all the listeners, lobsters eat fish, worms, mollusks, alternative crustaceans, plants, ocean urchins, dead shrimps, and snails.
Yes, we
So
covered
they-
that. I covered
Maybe
that.
we should have
Didn't
a
That's what
competition.
they eat.
Aye, but didn't need Google for that.
Well, you know,
Spanks,
when I googled it, it came up with like fish restaurants. That was the first thing that popped up when I said, "What does a lobster eat?" So there we go. What was the?
Do you want to know another fact about the Queen? And this is true.
I don't know.
This is verified. Our cows sleep on
She's a
water
wizard.
beds. Our cows sleep on water beds.
As
So-
cows.
Our cows, like, the Queen's
Does she
got...
get cows?
Well, obviously she's got loads of
I know
stuff
she's
like
got
that.
huskies and that.
Well, she's got like
No,
fields
it's-
and fields of cows and sheep, but they actually sleep on water beds, and it's apparently to ease the pressure points on the cattle, so that they produce better milk and better cheese.
It's no huskies. It's the wee ducks. Is it?
Corgis.
Corgis.
Aye, that's what I meant. Aye, corgis. Aye.
That's mad.
Yeah, waterbeds, Fred.
Did you look up the first wedding ever?
Right,
No.
no, sorry, I
No.
actually forgot. First wedding ever recorded. The first recorded evidence of marriage ceremonies uniting one woman and one man dates from about 2350 BC in Mesopotamia.
Aye, well, there is Bibles in the weddings in the Bible, isn't there?
Mesopotamia. There you go.
Probably still in the caves back then.
Aye.
Wonder what the buffet was. Definitely Stovies.
Stovies with the wee oatcakes.
Stovies and oatcakes and beetroot, which I've never really understood.
Now, I've came across one that I might not believe here. Researchers once turned a live cat into a telephone. This one's for Neil. So, Princeton researchers Ernest Weaver and Charles Bray took out a cat's skull and most of its brain to connect the animal to electricity. When they spoke... Wait till you hear this bit. When they spoke into the cat's ear, the sound could be heard through the phone receiver in another room. The twisted experiment paved the way for something implant developments.
Right, that's smart, yeah.
What, that cat was alive? That cat was alive, Spanks, and they've made it into a phone?
Bad bastards,
Discuss.
man.
I see you.
You can't be
agreed
doing that
with
with a
him,
cat. No, but it's interesting because I bet that's where it goes. They work out some sort of ear plant thing from it. Aye.
Well, they've done a head transplant of a monkey as well, didn't they? One time, but it lasted like
a brain or
minutes.
head? Brain?
No, a full head.
The full head.
Sure, it was the full head. Aye, but it only lived for like seconds or a minute or whatever.
What, from one monkey to another?
Aye.
So, but it
had, like,
actually
tubes.
lived on the other body?
Aye, but it wasn't actually attached. It was just like tubes with the passing blood and oxygen through and stuff. Sure, I've seen that.
Fuck off.
I'm sure that's a fact.
Who fucking what psychopath greenlit that experiment?
Well, there's all sorts of experiments happening. Your vaccine for your current epidemic will be getting heavily tested in animals, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably, man, it will be.
Thanks very much for listening to the Carbon Copy COVID Curer podcast. We'll be back soon with another ill-informed, chat-filled episode. Why not tell us what you think by email? Inquiry at carboncopymusic.band or visit our website, carboncopymusic.band. And if you're feeling really generous and you haven't already, please give us a like on our Facebook, facebook.com/carboncopy4, and even our Instagram, @carboncopyweddingband. Thanks again. No bangers were harmed during the making of this podcast. Carbon Copy reserve the right to moan about anything they like, and they will. Thank you.